I probably should have warned you that I just start talking because they run ads at the beginning of this, and to let people get past the ads, I just start chatting.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're we're gonna do that for a couple of seconds. Apparently, YouTube does that on live streams for like some people have told me they've had like 2 minute ads at the beginning of it, at the beginning of a live stream.
Really? I mean,
Yeah,
I just have ad blockers, so I've never seen an ad in my entire life.
that's fair enough. Guys, this is Monkey in the Morning. I'm Monk. That's Undoomed for those of you unaware. Say hi, Undoomed.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I hear you have some free time tonight.
Yeah, Miss Undoomed is out of town, so I'm playing with myself.
You know what? I found this about myself. Like, me and Lady Monkey aren't away from each other all that often. But
Mhm.
when she is gone, I'm more productive.
All
And
right.
it's because I get bored. I could go see her at any point, even though I spend most of my time in my office anyway. The
Mhm.
idea that I could go see her makes me lazier, I think. I don't know why it works that way.
Okay.
But
That's
then when she's
interesting.
gone, it's like I need to do something because I can't go see her, so I got to do something. So if you guys want me more productive, Lady Monkey's got to go on trips.
Pay
Speaking of
for
trips,
pay for the trips.
indeed. Speaking of trips, thank you for the suggestions on where I should go on my vacation. We're going to go to Canton. We are going to the Football Hall of Fame, which we have a vacation coming up on Doomed, and we have a few free days. We're
Okay.
going to see her father, and we're going to take some time for ourselves. And we couldn't decide what to do. And she goes, "You want to go to the Football Hall of Fame?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, I do."
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna be going and doing that here real soon.
All right.
Otherwise, how you been, my friend?
Oh, I've been good. You know, same old, but very good. How
Yeah, it's
about
been
yourself?
yeah, not too bad. Nothing I'm gonna complain about because nobody wants to hear that shit. um, wow, what a day. We'll be talking more about the lawsuit from Ethan later, guys, but we have got to get to this story about Tim Walz. Did you see this, Undoomed?
I don't think so. Um,
Oh my god.
I've heard about the lawsuit, obviously, but what's this Tim Pool thing? I don't know.
Tim Walz, the
Oh, Tim Walz.
yeah, the
Right.
governor of
No, I haven't seen that. So let's see
Minnesota.
what this is.
Letter to the FBI from shooter suspect made wild claims about Klobuchar and Walz, sources say. People with direct knowledge of the letter Vance Bolter sent, addressed to the FBI says it's rambling and conspiratorial. That kind of buries the lead, really. In a rambling conspiratorial letter addressed to the FBI, alleged assassin Vance Bolter, for those of you who don't know, some Minnesota politicians got shot. Two of them, or one was killed, along with her husband, but four people total shot, and this is that guy. He claimed Governor Tim Walz instructed him to kill U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar so that Walz could run for the U.S. Senate.
Wow.
Um, well, that's a thing. I'm so torn on this because I don't trust politicians, but I also don't trust crazy people who shoot folks. You know what I
No, I
mean?
mean, Jesus Christ. Who, where's this article from, anyhow?
This is from the Star Tribune, I believe it is, out there in yeah, the Minnesota Star Tribune.
Tribune. Okay. Is that like a credible source or is
It
it
is
heavily?
credible enough that the police involved have commented on it, and they say that it's an ongoing case, so they can't comment on it. But because of the serious nature of the allegations, they will say they found no proof that Tim Walz did this. So what that tells me is that that letter absolutely exists. They use anonymous sources in here because that's what news does these days.
Yes, of course.
But they basically, it's this one here, right? Yeah. Asked to comment about the letter. Is that Hennepin? What a fucking weird name. Hennepin County Attorney spokesperson Daniel Borgett. No, holy shit. That is Borgett Poping. Bro, get a new last name. Said
What?
the office cannot comment on an open investigation, but, quote, due to the seriousness of the allegation it contains, We will state only that we have seen no evidence that the allegations regarding Governor Walz are based in fact. So,
That's pretty sweet, though.
yeah, basically
Holy
they
shit.
are confirming that the letter is real and that it does accuse Walz. But again, not a confessed, a captured murderer.
Hmm.
So I'm not really thinking that we can put too much stock into what he says.
No, of course not. But it's funny as fuck.
Before the stream, Darth Mando, thank you so much for becoming a member for month number 19. Finally, a stream I can watch because early enough and no AP. Oh, is AP off tonight? Yeah, welcome. There's a lot of people who are pointing to this, and I can't tell if they're taking it seriously or not. Do you take something like this seriously?
No, I mean, killers have all sorts of weird justifications in their head, right? Not really going to take that seriously without any sort of evidence.
Yeah, I need to see like the emails or something. I need the Discord messages that show it.
Mm,
But it is funny.
yeah, it is. It's funny as fuck, obviously, and good for them for reporting it because
Yes.
usually media would suppress anything like that.
I've seen several people because this fell out of the news, and I'm going to be honest. I think it's kind of weird how quickly this fell out of the news. 2 politicians were shot. One was killed. Their husband and wife, respectively, were also shot, and it was barely a day worth of news.
Well, that means that whoever is the killer is someone they're protecting, right?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is weird to me that fell out of the news, but people are now like, see, this is why it fell out of the news because Tim Walz hired the guy. Like,
I don't think that's true, but it
weirder
might
things.
be just. It's probably because it's might be like a racial thing, maybe.
I don't know. I think
Like,
everybody involved is white.
okay.
Have you seen the shooter?
No, I know nothing about this case.
Oh, can you see the screen that I'm presenting?
Yep.
This is the guy there in the picture, but he's wearing a Mission Impossible style mask.
Oh my God. Okay. I think I saw something about this the other day. Right.
Yeah,
Now
it
I
was
remember.
it was
It's
just a
it's
blip in the news.
it's some white guy, right?
Yes, and the all of the victims were white. So yeah, I don't understand why this fell out of the news,
That's crazy.
especially when it was all Democrats who were shot. It's in Minnesota, and you have a narrative out there like, conservative thought causes people to be violent. This would be the perfect case for them, and they just went silent on it, and I don't know why. My
Okay.
guess,
Well, maybe that's why because it isn't a conservative who shot
that
him.
would be my guess, is that this is somebody who is even further left than they are, or
I don't remember much about this case. I just saw it passingly, but as far as I saw, he was like an appointee of Tim Walz.
he had some kind of governmental role. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember the title either, but he was appointed by Tim Walz.
Yeah, which that is probably why it fell out, not because Tim Walz hired him to kill Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah, yeah, obviously.
The article
uh,
does say that Tim Walz isn't even running for senator. That might be true, but that doesn't prove he didn't kill somebody so that he could run.
no, I mean, good for
Uh,
him, but yeah,
yeah,
that doesn't mean anything. But yeah,
it's
I think it's just some crazy person who he probably like the first initial reports said. I think he was appointed by Tim Walz, and there's except for a woman scorned, there's no one more scorned than an ex-employee, right?
oh yeah. It's amazing to me when there is like workplace violence and that everybody tries to make it deeper than, hey, that guy got fired.
Yeah. So he was probably fired for some shit, and he just lost it. And he went all Mission Impossible.
Faithful says he's not running now for a race in 5 years. Well, if Amy was killed, they'd have to put somebody in that place. So I believe that is the conspiracy. Or maybe he's talking. Maybe when he said he was hired to do this, he's saying it was for the last election, which wouldn't make a lot of sense because Walz was running for vice president at the time. So I don't fucking know.
Right.
I don't know.
No.
I just thought it was funny.
It was. I mean, that mask is like priceless. I have never seen that in real life before in a murder case. That's
Right?
awesome. He tried. I mean, mostly when you look at CSI and shit, or real life stuff like that, the killers are just so fucking stupid. You're just face palming, like, oh my God, how could you possibly expect to get away with this shit? But at least he tried. This guy tried to put on a mask, right? Because we all know that whatever the fuck you do in public is going to get recorded. Every second of it is going to be fucking door cams and cell phones and security cams and everything, right? So he tried. I'll give him that credit.
I'm curious how they caught him. Because the
Yeah,
mask,
yeah.
from what you can see in this image, the mask does do a decent job of hiding who he was.
Oh, for sure. I mean, totally. Uh, if you have no other way to track him, this would be completely impossible to track. If this was like 20 years ago, that guy would be gone.
I
But of
saw
course, he probably fucked up like most stupid criminals do. Like he had his cell phone in his pocket or something, and they could
had
go
his
back and track his cell phone, track every cell phone in the area, and be like, "Uh oh, what's this? Hello,
I
right?"
s- I saw a news clip from Minnesota, one of their local stations, where they were like,
Hmm.
"How did he get from one place to another? It's 8 miles away." And I'm like, "What year do you think this is? You know how
Eight
easy it is to
miles? What do you
travel
mean?
8 miles today?"
8 miles?
Yeah,
What?
between the different shootings, apparently it's an 8 mile stretch, and they're like, "How did he do it? The buses weren't even running. Like, were cars? I mean,
Yeah, you get a fucking electric scooter. What the fuck are you
it,
talking about?
it's amazing that they have to clickbait a shooting. Like, how did he possibly do it? Like there was some grand conspiracy.
Maybe he had a horse.
Maybe, maybe he jogged. Come on, but they got to make it sensational, right? You can't
Yeah.
just give the story because people might tune out and not laugh at you. Um, okay, making sure that that is still right. All right, there's not much else to say about this other than that's it. So,
I just applaud him for his mask.
yeah, I mean he tried. You're absolutely right about that part.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta talk just a little bit about, and by little bit, this could take the whole show because I find this fucking hilarious. Ethan Klein suing Casey Tron for and denims because this shit just keeps getting funnier. Taylor Lorenz weighed today, guys.
I can't wait for that.
And just so you know, Undoomed, I should warn you of this since Jack's not here. I am on my satellite and it does drop occasionally for 10 to 15 seconds. If that
Hmm.
happens, just chat or wait for me, whatever, just so you know.
Right.
Like,
I'll I'll
where did it
just I'll
go?
just I'll just go to talking to the chat then.
Yeah, because there's no warning for it. Anyway,
Yeah.
over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much. If it ever loads up, come on. There we go. Evolve Potato, thank you. Something that might be kind of interesting is the Democrats that were shot were the ones that crossed the aisle and voted with Republicans to remove remove illegals and, from social medical coverage. And yeah, I mean, this gets into whether or not the guy was on the left and just thought that the people on the left weren't left enough. But we don't
Right.
have any motive yet. As far as I know, they
No,
still
and
haven't
we
given us
we
motive.
probably never will because if it was like that, then they will never report it.
All right. So Frogan, all three of the ladies, Casey Tron, Frogan, and Denims.
Which one do you want to see sued the most?
Oh, for how blatantly they ripped off his copyright, or because they're shitty people? Because those are two different answers.
Shitty people.
Shitty people, Frogan.
Okay.
Because she is a horrible bitch of a woman. Her wishing PTSD on all U.S. soldiers.
All right. That's pretty much the only thing I've ever seen of her, though. She's got such a small presence on social media. Pretty much everything I ever see is denims, right?
Yeah, Denims is a bad person. Also, I mean, she can sit here and claim she had nothing to do with the CPS call on Ethan, but she was clearly at least cheering it along.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
She is. I just think Frogan is a worse human. But if you're talking about the copyright side of it, Frogan has nothing on Denims. Denims is so fucked in this case.
I mean, didn't she just say that, like, let's take away the views from Ethan?
Yeah, her and her viewers calling it ethically watching.
No, but didn't she actually say we're taking away views from
Mhm.
Ethan, right?
Yes.
That is pretty much the basis of any copyright infringement case.
Yeah, copyright or fair use has 4 pillars, and she's in violation of 3 of them at least. She might be able to claim an educational thing, but not really.
Yeah, but I mean, the first thing about a copyright infringement thing is before you get to anything else, you have to show damages, right? And
Yes.
she is saying
Well,
that let's do this so we can take away views from Ethan.
yes. And all 3
So,
of them, in some respect, do the same thing. Denims is just the most overt about it.
mhm.
Because all 3 of them have, and for anybody who missed last night's show, lots of people responded to Ethan's content nuke on Hassan Piker. And he even explains in the video why he's not suing the rest of them. And it's what Undoomed was just talking about. These 3 specifically were like, you should be watching it through us or somebody else. Don't give any support to Ethan.
Right.
That is a blatant violation of copyright.
Yeah.
But the 3 girls have all set up GoFundMe's for their what's the word I'm looking for here? Legal defense.
Yeah, but that's the brilliance of Ethan's plan. He's carpet bombing them, and now they have to split all their bread tube money amongst 3 of them.
Yes.
So
And
their donations are never going to get far enough.
I did see on, I think it was Denim's. No, I haven't looked at Casey Tron's, guys, just so you guys are aware. But I have seen both Denim and Frogan's GoFundMe's. They've each raised close to $10,000. They're actually like 8 to 9,000. But
Sorry?
they've raised between $8,000 and $9,000 between each of them.
Right.
One of them had $1,000 donation.
Sure, but they have to get to a lot more than that, right?
Well,
Just to get
between
to the first stage, you need $100,000.
yeah, between the 3 of them, they're asking for 400,000. Casey and asking for 100,000, and Frogan is asking for 200, which proves that she's the smarter of the 3 because 200,000 is way closer to what this will cost them.
Yeah, of course, but you know they that might happen if one of them was going through this, but you know all 3 they're
Yeah.
never going to get their money.
Frogan tweeted out, Ethan Klein is suing me for responding to a video about myself. All right, let's stop right there. You do not have a copyright exception because the video was about you.
No,
That's meaningless drivel. She goes on to
that
say,
has nothing to do with copyright.
I have made a GoFundMe to raise funds for my legal defense. And then there's a thing. And then Taylor Lorenz pipes up. As someone who cares deeply about free speech, again, stop. And you can see what Ethan says at the top. He says, free speech. They didn't even say anything, which is true.
Yeah.
There's no speech to silence. This is not a free speech case. Oh, before we go on, my friend, how are you, Jack? Jack?
Hi, everybody.
There he is.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going on, dude?
It's going good.
Good. I saw you were on the corner today. You've been busy.
Oh, yeah.
He's off his leash for the night. He's got time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that good or bad?
That's a good thing. Well, I'm assuming because he said he didn't come out and say Miss Undoomed left me. He said she's gone for the night. So I'm assuming things are still okay.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
Yeah,
as long as they're not going to like find her in the desert somewhere.
Right? Remember the rule around here: do not make us accessories. Anyway,
yeah, no felonies on stream.
Yeah.
So Jack, we went over the Tim Walz thing. So I'll give you a chance to comment. What do you think on that one? That's what we said.
Yeah. The left is one of the most delightfully imaginative group of insane people I've ever seen in my life.
That's
Anybody that thinks Tim Walz is capable of a plot like this, beyond like drawing crayon pictures, and if he's your plot leader, you're going to prison or probably getting killed.
Fair.
Cops. It's like people that rob banks with airsoft guns. Like, what are you doing? Trying to die?
Thank you, Frosted, who says you can have my sloppy seconds, Monk. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. All right, Jack. So now we're on to the lawsuit because we've had some updates on that through social media.
Oh yeah. The Walz.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is that me?
You're dropping out there, buddy.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit, my friend.
Yeah, hang on.
Hang on.
Beat your internet connection. Beat your internet connection.
No, it's fucking.
It feels pain. It really does. So beat it.
It's invisible, so I swing all around like a maniac. No, Rumble has autoplay ads, and I just opened Rumble.
Oh, gotcha.
So the autoplay ads fuck up my connection for some reason.
Well, you know around here how I can't have interrupted internet connections.
All
right. So Taylor Lorenz pipes up.
Oh,
and she says, as someone who cares deeply about free speech, what Ethan is doing is appalling. No, what he's doing, look. If he was going after everybody who commented on his video, if he was going after everybody who showed some of it, I would agree with her 100%. But that's not what happened here.
Hmm.
These ladies, one, were trying to get people not to watch Ethan and make money off of that. And two, they weren't even reacting. Undoomed, did you watch Ethan's video?
No, I just watched the ones on Twitter. I don't know if it's longer than that.
Yeah, it's like a is it 20 minutes, I think?
Oh,
the one girl.
I just saw like 3 minutes or something when he's like doing his supervillain riff.
So his original video is 2 hours long. Casey Tron spoke.
Oh, you mean the original video? Okay.
No, I'm talking about the one where he announces the lawsuit.
Okay. No, I didn't see the entire one of that.
Okay, so he lays all this out. His original video that they were responding to was 2 hours long. The Casey Tron chick spoke for 15 minutes. That's the total time that she added anything to it.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, she was toking on it wasn't actually a joint. She was using a vapor, but smoking marijuana, 18 minutes worth of inhaling and exhaling. You're not going to be able to convince a copyright judge that blowing smoke into your face cam is transformative.
No.
Not even if you're watching some movie about getting high, like a Snoop Dogg movie. Like, no, it's transforming it. See, I'm getting high. that
That
is
would
not
not be
fair use.
transforming it. No.
Um,
Maybe the only way you could do that is if you're watching an anti-smoking video.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, then maybe you'd have an argument.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Ethan is against free speech and free expression online. He is no different than other extremist hate mongers who use their millions to abuse the legal system to silence speech. Disgusting.
Is that what she said?
That is what Taylor Lorenz wrote. Yes.
Oh my God. Every day I'm delighted by the left eating themselves.
It's amazing to me.
I mean, he's such a far leftist,
Yes.
and but he steps 1 millimeter out of line, and they want to fucking devour him. Right?
Oh, they're clown show of cannibals.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, if Ethan had any fucking brain in his head, he would fucking join the far right after this. He'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm Hitler now. I'm
Right.
gonna exterminate myself."
This whole fight literally comes down to him not supporting terrorism. He's with them on everything else, but he won't agree that Hamas is some noble organization.
Yeah. And of course, Hamas is a terrorist organization. How can you fucking argue anything else, you fucking retards?
What a purity spiral hill to die on. That Hamas is like the good guys ever.
Yeah.
Like you can have
enjoy your fucking lawsuits, you fucking losers.
Right?
In this case, Ethan is a fucking hero.
One of the things that
I have no illusions that he would agree with any of my points or anything like that, but in this case, he's a fucking winner.
Yeah, look, we said this last night. When I think Ethan is a fucking retard. I have done whole streams about what a retard he is.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, he didn't sue me for, even though I used his content to point out what a retard he was.
Amazing.
But in this instance, the retard is right.
Yeah.
These idiots. I saw people like XQC didn't speak that much either. XQC, I don't know if you know who he is. He's another person who responded to this. And
I know the name. I don't know. Is he right or left or whatever?
I don't really know his political leanings. He just comments on stuff, and sometimes he says stupid shit, and sometimes he says stuff I agree with. But he's not like really overtly political.
That's a good position to have.
Yeah. Especially as a streamer who's trying not to offend everybody.
Right.
And look, I don't care about offending anybody, but my content is clearly from one side of the aisle. He is originally a game streamer, and then he gets into kind of like what they call chair streams, where he just watches what other people do. He's one of the people who probably could get sued for copyright, if we're being honest. But people like he only added 45 minutes. How come Ethan didn't sue him? It's like Ethan stated why he was suing these people because of their specific call for people not to watch his content, to take money from him. Yeah. That's what those three girls did.
That's when they're trying to be so edgy that they fuck themselves.
Yes. They were trying to be so cool.
Hassan didn't fall for it then? That's a shame.
Well, Hassan doesn't watch stuff that's critical of him. Do you know who Willie Mack is?
I've heard the name. I can't place it right now.
I love Willie Mack's content. He's a commentary YouTuber. He'll find a subject and he'll make 1 to, I think 5 is the most I've seen on one person about people. He's done Sneeko and Andrew Tate and Hassan. And he did some videos about Hassan, and Hassan got very upset with him and calls him onto stream so they can discuss it. And he hadn't even watched the videos, according to him. I'm like, why are you calling somebody on stream to argue with them about something they said when you won't even watch what they said?
Yeah,
Well,
that would just put you in a stupid position because now you have no idea what you're arguing against.
well, that's kind of Hassan's theme.
True.
He really doesn't know what he's talking about ever.
True.
But one of the things that's going around is that this is just a slap suit. Do you guys know what a slap suit is?
Sure.
Yeah.
For the
But
audience who doesn't,
is that even applicable in California?
I don't know if it's applicable in California, but it's not applicable to this case.
No, sure, but I mean, you could probably defend it in those states, or you could try to defend it with that in those states where it is applicable.
Yeah, California has anti-slap, which is strategic lawsuit against public participation.
Yes.
Right.
For you kids in the audience.
Basically, it's a lawsuit to keep people from criticizing you. You just bury them with bullshit. This part is important. Meritless lawsuits.
Right.
Kizzy! Oh, I had a little mouse caught in my throat.
This is kind of like the thing where what's his face? Logan Paul. That should have been a slap suit.
Oh,
Or
the one
should have been
against
Coffee Silla.
Yeah.
That should have been classified as a slap suit. But this is not a slap suit.
No,
he actually has a legal standing here.
Yeah.
They may not understand that, and their shyster lawyers probably won't understand that, because they're not going to get a competent attorney with a good reputation to follow this disaster. But these people are stupid.
Well, I mean, even if they do, it's probably more profitable for those lawyers if they lose, because then they can appeal and it can go on forever.
Oh yeah, they're gonna. It'll be some like Saul Goodman ambulance chaser type who's just like, "Give me all your money, you dumb fucker."
Yeah.
I just want to know what kind of idiots have so much money that they're throwing it at Denham's, Frogan, and Caseytron right now. You know, instead of buying food or video games or something you can enjoy.
Same people that bought a car for some streamer that hugged him once.
Yeah.
We've all seen these stories of these sad, lonely people that somehow connect with these moochers and degenerates.
Look, I don't like anybody involved in this case. I think they're all degenerates. But somebody is right here, and you have to be able to separate that. Do not get into the mindset of being so one-teamed. And I've seen this on all sides of the spectrum where people will suddenly just start defending shit that 2 minutes ago they were saying this is wrong.
Yeah.
And a lot of it in this case is because people... fair use does have a meaning. It needs to have a meaning because copyright is important. What happened to Ethan in his case, where the weird fox guy, what was the name of that? Cool Fox? Where that guy sued Ethan. That what Ethan had done there was fair use, as justified by the court. This is not the same as that.
Yeah. I
mean, one of the pillars of fair use is how much of the content you use. And I was talking about this last night, for those of you who missed it. There is no hard and fast rule on how much you can use, like time-wise. No. There's a misconception out there that, as long as I use less than 30 seconds. No. If you use 3 seconds and you used it wrong, that's still a copyright violation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you use 2 hours and you didn't break copyright, it's still fair use. And in this case, you have a hard time. Frogan at one point, Undoomed, this is in Ethan's video, you can watch it. Her own audience is bitching at her for not saying anything for a long time. And her response is, well, what do you want me to say? He's just repeating himself. Well, then you shouldn't just be playing that if you have nothing to say. And guys, this is why I don't generally go over videos on here that I agree with, because I have nothing to add to it. And besides boring the shit out of you guys, that's a copyright violation.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just boring anyway. Like, how often have we skipped large chunks of video because they say the same thing over and over again?
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, this is more of the same, guys. And because, like you said, we can only say so much before it's the same thing over and over again.
Thank you. This is Kyle. Said, yeah, those sad, lonely people who give money to weirdo streamers so they feel like they have friends. Anyway, here's some money. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Right.
We're
I don't-
cool.
For the record, there's a difference from donating to them while they're live because you're enjoying their content and giving them money to help them try to get out of the legal trouble they put themselves in.
Yeah. Speaking of which, by the way, sorry I missed this last night. Keldrig, thank you for the dono. A monkey's cat is a special treat. I didn't realize he was Asian. Well, he's a Chinese guy wearing a monkey hat.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
I still
Very
don't.
obvious. I'm looking right at it. The
I don't
nostrils
see
are
it.
The nostrils are the high def eyes.
I
You have a little unhappy half smile, like most Chinese guys I've met, and you have a little hat on.
I know what people have explained to this to me many times, and I don't see it. I can't see the Chinese guy there.
Once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it.
That's what I've heard. It's like those what were those puzzles called where you had to fucking relax your eye, they'd tell you to do so you could see what was in the picture?
Oh, I know what those were called. Enraging.
What,
I
you mean
take
the three ones?
The wavy lines, and if you stared at it, it's a schooner.
Yep. Magic
Steve
eye,
from
that's it.
Mallrats, the guy staring at the picture, and he couldn't see the schooner, and it was always a little kid. It's a boat.
Magic eye.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what they were called. That was a big trend there for a while back in the mid 90s.
I fucking hated those things. I could never.
I don't know. I just remember those where it's like a complete field of white noise. And
Yeah,
like,
it's a visual mess. Just
right.
I didn't want to stare at that.
If you cross your eyes, you'll see something. It's like, yeah, I could always see it. So it's like, yeah, whatever.
I almost never could. I was one of those people, like that big dumb fat guy in Mallrats, just sitting there staring at it, getting mad. And
Okay.
yeah, I hate those things. They just give me headaches and make me angry.
Okay.
I'm not smart enough to do it, apparently. So
Too bad.
Yeah, they were really cool.
yeah, I'm sure they
Yeah,
were.
it gets you like a weird sort of I'm high feeling
Yeah.
when you see it.
I had other things and I didn't save them, so I guess we'll just keep talking in generalities. The going back to the case, sorry guys.
Right. But did you see the GoFundMe's, right? We talked
Yes.
about that. And
Yeah,
what are they at now? Like $10,000 or something?
Let's see.
Let's
Denims
go check.
has raised 8,550.
Oh my God, she can almost defend herself for half an hour.
I love her description because usually on GoFundMe's people write like paragraphs worth, and she just writes, Ethan Klein is suing me for reacting to his video on Hassan. This fundraiser is to cover any and all fees associated with this complaint.
Wow, it's
Wow, that's really
Pithy.
convincing.
yeah.
Convincing. I'm donating now. Holy shit, let me get my wallet out.
Downside of that is if she's got money left over, she can't use it. She just said that this was specifically for that. Otherwise, it's fraud.
Well, she
Yeah.
says for any and all legal fees. So
Is getting coffee a legal fee?
I mean, you need coffee to go do your legal stuff sometimes, right?
Right.
I mean, she probably would have been better off auctioning off booby pics on her OnlyFans.
True.
Probably raise more money.
Oh yeah. I mean, holy shit. Do we know how much money she makes from that? I have no idea.
Not enough for the loss. Holy shit, Frogan's up to 20K.
Why?
Why, she's the smallest YouTuber of them all.
I know, right?
She's hideous. Like,
That's crazy. That's some Muslim privilege right
dude.
there.
Yeah.
Somebody donated 10K.
I would find out if that was a Houthi on a boat that happens to know Hassan.
Well,
This is my Iranian money.
No. That was Hassan.
Yeah, probably.
When I saw, because she's the one that had the $1,000 donation when I looked at it earlier, and my first thought was, can you say money laundering, ladies and gentlemen?
Mm-hmm.
And a $10,000 donation for this?
That's Hassan. That's Hassan.
And I said this last night. If I'm Hassan with my record of stealing people's content, I fund the shit out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be way cheaper than when the ambulance chasers realize they can make money.
When the worms turns to you.
Yeah. And it always does because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
I would. This woman, I'm sorry, being as leftist as she is and pretending she's Muslim, all the accounting and this donation stuff better be legit because there's probably a watch list that she's on.
Yeah, I think we should just send her to Iran.
I want
problem solved.
Yeah.
I want to read her description because it's a little more questionable than Frogan's. Let's get this first. Dark Conservatarian, thank you so very much. Very first ICE donation. Also wanting to promote Pixar's new Elio, mostly because I want Pixar to make original stuff and not only just sequels. Thank you so much. And there you go, guys. Check out Elio. I haven't seen it, so
I've never even heard of it. Is that a new movie? Is it out now?
It's a new Pixar film.
Apparently,
no one told me.
Yeah, I didn't know about it till yesterday.
No one told me. Why is this not? Why are they not making any commercials for it? Jesus Christ!
I saw somehow this came across my desk, and I don't remember how. But yeah, I saw that they'd made one, but it didn't like jump out at me. You know what? Look, I'm just going to say this. I get what you're saying. You don't want them to make sequels, but Toy Story 5. That's all. Just saying.
Nope.
Yes.
I'm not with you. Nope.
Toy Story
Fuck
5.
Toy Story. Fuck Toy Story.
They are
no more sequels. No more sequels.
Oh, aren't they making a new one where
Tom Hanks?
I don't care. Fuck sequels.
I think they're making a new one where like the bad guy is a tablet.
I don't care. I'm never gonna see it.
I never will either. I haven't seen past Toy Story 2, and by then I was done with the franchise. But fuck it, I want Toy Story 95. I want Toy Story to become the joke that Rocky used to be.
I want Wall-E to become reality.
Not me, man. I like being alive.
It is reality.
I mean,
that's the twist.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Frogan's thing here. And you guys tell me if this sounds sus to you.
All right.
After nearly 2 years of targeted harassment campaign against me.
Oh, my God.
Ethan Klein has now escalated it into suing me for reacting to his video on Hassan and myself. She keeps calling it a video about her. She's talked about it in there, but it wasn't a video about you. Shut up.
If this is like an official thing, shouldn't she put Hassan's last name in there?
You would think, but she's Frogan, so
everyone knows who Hassan is. Like, no.
Wasn't Frogan that frozen yogurt shit you could buy for a while?
It's a frog thing.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know where she came up with her name. Anyway,
it's a frog.
Hassan and myself on his video titled "Content Nuke Hassan Piker." This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with this complaint, any counterclaims I may have against him, and any other bills and personal expenses from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation.
Wow. That is some lawyer speak right there.
That's a little bit more open-ended, ain't it?
Yeah, that is some, like, whatever I want to do with this money is fine.
That's how you were to GoFundMe.
No shit. There ain't no only legal expenses about this shit.
Nope. That is some. I'm gonna get some coffee right there.
Well,
Yeah.
the way she says it from lost wages,
Yep.
if her whatever her monthly take is goes down by $1, I
I
can
mean,
take all 20,000 because I lost wages.
I just watched a Turkey Tom video on her, and apparently she has less viewers than you.
Yes, yeah,
He said that he had 150 views,
that was hurtful. The
and
way that he just said that.
we're currently at 192 views, and she has 150, and
Yeah,
she's gonna claim that she's this huge fucking influence on things, right?
Hey, monkey, you don't smell bad for a fat chick.
no, and I get what you're saying. We've made the same comment about many people. Like, we get more viewers than that. Come on. I tuned into her tonight because she went live, and I'm like, she's probably not going to talk about it, but God, I hope she does. And at that time, she had about 250 people watching, but that's because people are tuning in, hoping she's going to say something about the lawsuit right now.
Of course, now all eyes are going to be on her.
That's why there's still just a little piece of me.
Most of these people are probably fans of Ethan, who's going to be clipping her.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. And she apparently went through and deleted or hid all of her VODs on Twitch. Now, I need to throw in a caveat there. Apparently, Twitch was also cleaning up some stuff, so maybe they did it. But the timing of it happening,
they did it for her. I mean, Twitch is so biased that obviously they're going to try whatever they can to protect their chosen people.
Yeah, and Frogan, I don't know if it was you. I'm not a lawyer, right? But trying to evidence evidence is a bad thing. This is something that has come up in cases we've talked about many times, where somebody will delete their online presence, and it's used as a way to show that they were trying to hide evidence.
Yeah, or they get
there's that, and there's like 3 tiers to this. Like, yeah, that is proof of the trying to hide something, but then there's also like usually you can get it back, and 3, it can be illegal.
Yeah, this was not a good idea if she is the one who did it. Let's go check. Yeah. I'm assuming Casey Tron has her link somewhere to her GoFundMe. There it is. Let's see. We haven't even looked at her. Oh, wow. I almost feel bad. She's raised $2,466.
Get ready to get blown out.
Ethan Klein.
I mean, that's crazy. Isn't she the biggest one of them?
I think, she might have the biggest subscription, but she hasn't been watched regularly in a long time.
Oh, okay.
She had a big falling out with her group of people. This is drama from years ago.
She's the only one I've ever heard of, except for in Hassan circumstances, right?
Do you realize how weird that probably makes you?
Yeah, I had no idea who this chick was.
What do you mean?
Most people know the other two and don't know Casey.
Because I've never heard of these people, these 2 other fucking whores, except for some Hassan dick sucking. That's all I know them from.
Fair.
Casey Tron, I've heard of.
You're not wrong, though. I mean, but yeah, that makes you kind of unique because most people don't even know who Casey Tron is. That's why she's only raised.
I don't really know who she. I don't really know who she is either. But I've heard of her outside of Hassan. The other people, the other 2 chicks, I just assumed they're sucking Hassan's cock.
Well, one of them started with sucking Destiny's cock, and then Frogan is Hassan's little lap rider.
So she started out sucking Destiny's.
Wait, who started out? Wait, hold on. Who started out sucking Destiny's cock?
That would be Miss Denham's. She was a orbiter of Destiny until they had a falling out, and she latched onto Hassan.
Right.
Yeah.
She banged a dude in his bed.
Yes. I love that she's also the one. She puts this horrible picture of Ethan up.
That probably didn't help.
And her thing just says, Ethan Klein is suing me for reacting to his video on Hassan. This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint.
That picture of Ethan looks like a Freddie Mercury and Liberace had nightmares about Kang.
I would vote him for president. That's a good picture. Let's
Yes.
have Ethan for president.
That is some evil looking shit, like very 1984.
No, I think that's a good Marvel movie right there.
Yeah, I'd probably watch the movie. I'm just saying, it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
Do you think Fuentes wants to go over to these people's houses and check their sofas?
Probably.
What? Sorry, what?
Nick Fuentes, the cum hunter.
Oh yeah, it's gonna glow in the dark.
Yeah, like he's gonna do a deep dive into this.
Yeah, he's gonna find the glow and then he's gonna just lick it.
I mean, he's got to test the evidence.
Yeah, I mean, his tongue is a spectrometer.
Yes, that's what I've heard. I don't think that's what they called it in jail, but I'm sure he's heard that term before.
Yes.
Can I
real quickly?
Go ahead, you first.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. The best part about all these lawsuits will be watching them try to find decent lawyers when they've spent the past 2 years demonizing the Jews.
That is one of the comments on.
Wait,
I
what?
want to say it was on Denham's thing. Somebody put in there, laughing my ass off at you having to give all this money to a Jew.
Yeah.
And
wait, what?
They're anti-Semites. So finding a non-Jewish lawyer that's good in California, that's what he's getting at. Also, I can't wait.
Are like Denims doing this, or is someone mocking Denims?
Frosted's mocking them because Denims and Frogan and Cyclotron there were making fun of the Jews. So finding a decent lawyer is going to be difficult. That's
okay. So they're going to have to pay their money to a Jew. Okay.
Yeah.
One way or another. Yeah.
Also, I can't wait to see one of them cross-examined. It'll just be an empty chair.
No,
Frosted.
The irony of this, of them watching that and then having to give all their money to a Jew is funny.
Yeah. I hope they get a Jewish lawyer. That'd be awesome.
Nice Jewish judge, because most judges come from lawyers. Weird.
I hope so. I fucking hope so. I hope he has all the Berg signs in his last name.
Well,
he's knocking shit over. He's knocking shit over on his bench with his nose. That's how Jewish I want this guy to be.
I want him to look like the caricature from World War II.
Yes.
Like, as swarthy as he could get. No, I think that you're going to have a hard time not getting... Because California, especially in like the Los Angeles area, where the court is going to be located, because they're in, the 10th Circuit? It's in Los Angeles. I know that, because this is a federal case.
Yeah.
And he would have had to file locally. So it's going to be in California, where there's a lot of powerful Jews. One of the jury, if they end up with a jury trial, they're going to have at least one Jewish person on that jury. And he's just got to like slip in a couple of little clips.
This is it's not going to go well for him.
No, they're fucked on the face of it. They openly are on video saying they're trying to deprive him of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have two things going for them, and that is, A, they fucked they did break fair use.
Yeah.
And secondly, there's probably going to be a lot of Jews on the jury. So good luck.
Monkey.
What? Oh, we lost the monkey.
Yeah.
All right.
He-
How you doing, chat?
I'm back.
There he is.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry about
there.
that.
I thought you were just having an awkward silence, but yeah, we sort of understood too late.
So, Comrade Kitty is leading me to believe that Monkey took a nap and Iran had an earthquake.
I didn't sleep much. It's possible it was my fault. But
You were really trying to start a war, dude.
I wanted to point out earlier, I need to get me some titties. Because Casey Tron,
Did you say?
I need titties. Yeah, my own titties that people want to look at, because she has several $100 donations for this. Frogan got
What's that
10K.
got to do with titties? What has this got to
You
do
think
with titties?
they would be getting this money if they didn't have nobody'd be watching them if they didn't have titties? Have you heard Casey Tron? That chick is a
Not really. I mean, I heard about her like 10 years ago or something. I have no idea really what she does.
I need titties so I can get the $100 donations. I guess I need sued too. Look, I have reacted to Ethan before, so he might sue me, guys. So I need a legal fund for any and all expenses I may have regarding anything,
Including hookers.
including
guys,
hookers.
On top of that, I'll be unemployed if Monkey loses this channel. So I'm gonna need all your monies just to get by in my day-to-day laziness. I mean desperation.
Thank
Right.
you, Red Kitty, who said fun for Monkey's breast implants. Thank you, I appreciate that.
That is very important.
Real quickly, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. I hope they get the personification of the merchant rubbing his hands together Jew meme. I would probably die of laughter. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like he's sitting at the bench just twisting his hands together.
Yeah, I want him to everything he asks. Is that kosher? I want him to use Yiddish up on the bench. I want the most Jewish judge ever.
Yeah, and he has to at some point say "Oye vey" and throw his gavel up in the air. Oh man, that'd be awesome. I would watch the shit out of that trial.
I think he should sentence them all to go to Iran at the end.
Yes,
absolutely.
they'll have to live.
You love Islam so much, just go there. Just fuck off.
You're hereby sentenced to live in Gaza for a year.
Yeah,
just send them.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I want to look at this tweet just because Hassan retweeted it. He spoke about this a little bit, but not as much as you'd expect him. This really is dangerous to him.
Mm-hmm.
But this person tweeted out, "I'm not a legal expert, but posting a video admitting you intentionally targeted specific creators and that you laid out all of this as a trap seems like it will lead to an automatic loss, right?" Laugh my ass off. This guy's throwing this out there like Ethan entrapped them and there's some legal thing about private citizens setting people up like this.
No, entrapment is only applies to federal things.
Yeah, this would be
maybe police things.
Yes.
Rather.
Yeah, last I heard, Ethan's not a cop; he's a content cop.
Yeah.
Right.
Well
played.
Hopefully not. That would be fucking cringe.
Well, they're all kind of cringe, aren't they?
Sure, but iDubbbz is the most cringe I've ever seen, ever.
Oh, dude, that guy is such a pussy.
That is like a pussy worship on the level which should not be allowed.
No.
Right?
Mama Bears has been watching for years, finally catching a live. Well, welcome.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you.
Little different when we're actually going live. Here's the thing about entrapment. If a cop, he's undercover and he leaves a pile of cocaine sitting there and doesn't tell you to snort it and you snort it, that's not entrapment.
Mm-hmm.
He has to ask you to break the law for it to be entrapment.
Right.
Yeah, like theoretically saying, saw down the shotgun for me.
Yes. You know, as a hypothetical example, that works.
Right. Well,
No,
it has to be something that wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Exactly.
yeah, these people conspired to deprive him of money by saying, "Watch our stream, not his. We will be showing it, so you could give us the views and money that you may have given him." And
And-
they've been, and Hassan
Pretty
is one of-
clear. Pretty clear.
yeah, Hassan's one of the biggest offenders of playing other people's content, not saying anything and wandering off like a small child. So yeah, him posting.
I mean, that's the whole cliche, isn't it? Like when you tune into, I've never actually watched a live stream of Hassan, but from what I hear is if you tune in, there's just going to be a chair there with nothing, just going to be a video playing, and he's gone, right?
He wanders off to get snacks or to get his Uber Eats or to take a bathroom break, or I don't know. He does seem to be gone for a long time. I've only watched his streams a couple times. They are so boring.
Yes, they are.
Like
Right.
I would rather have dead silence than listen to that.
Right.
I would probably actually rather go to a construction site and try and do my high school math problems.
While they are jackhammering.
Yeah, while they're doing everything all at once. And without a calculator, than ever watch another Hassan stream because he is so boring.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Never tried to watch his streams.
In this regard, Undoomed, at one point as she's watching, Frogan has the video paused. And she's got to go to the bathroom. So she unpauses it to get up and leave.
Right.
You can't claim fair use like that. That is such a blatant violation.
Right.
But no.
Crazy.
He's just doing this because they criticized him, don't you know? If Ethan was just going to do this for people who criticize him, there are thousands of us on the internet he'd be hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is selective. He picked 3 people that intentionally did this out of all the people that streamed that and stream sniping. But was it vindictive? Probably, but he's still that.
You know, I mean, sometimes vengeance is good because they try to fuck him, hit him in the balls.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, Undoomed, but Denham's, this is her second GoFundMe in the last 3 months because she was raising money to sue Ethan for defamation.
Ah, that makes it even sweeter.
She raised $46,000, which she did return, apparently, to sue him for defamation.
The thing is, with these things, the thing is with GoFundMes, the return is always less. So this time, she's not gonna raise $46,000 this time. It's always less interest.
And as you pointed out at the beginning, there's also 3 people involved now.
Yeah. But even if it wasn't, she can't raise the same.
Yep, you got
the last time. It's always going to be less interest. Oh, it's this again. Oh my God, people get tired,
especially that close together.
Yeah, people are going to be like, oh my God, is this the last time or the first time? I don't remember. Fuck this. They're going to tune out. So she's never going to raise the same amount.
I am going to enjoy
this is
the
even
shit
funnier.
Although I do think the reason I talk about it, besides the funny, you guys know I love my drama shit, but this does have implications beyond these 3 idiots. This has implications for the totality of streamers. Anybody who's making online content. This is why you have to follow the rules, because eventually some idiots like this are going to do this, and we're going to get hard and fast rules because of this.
Mm-hmm.
Something that could have been iffy.
But I really wish there were some hard and fast rules. Like, okay,
Me too.
you have to have like 51% of the time has to be your time. That'd be a nice rule. I think that would be reasonable, and I could live with that, and I think most people could live with that. Why can't we have a rule like that? Right?
My problem with a hard and fast rule like that is like sometimes when responding to things, people are long-winded and your response still within fair use is shorter than that. So I get what you're saying.
But
But
then
my
you
problem with
cut
that,
away some fat of their time. I
my
think a
problem
hard
is
and
that
fast rule would be useful. It would be
we have
very
rules though.
nice.
This the problem is that with the we don't. It's not that we don't have enough hard and fast rules. It's that nobody. It is so expensive to sue somebody for this. That's where the real barrier comes in. And
Yeah,
you
but that
never
makes
know.
it like only super rich people can enforce the shit.
True, true. And that is a
It's like,
problem.
what's the point of that?
And
Just say what the fuck it is. Just let's say it's 51%. You have to have 51% of the time. You could dance for 9 minutes. Okay? Just make sure it's 51%. I'd be fine with that.
excuse me, so sorry. 1 second. Jack, will you talk for a minute?
Words and stuff.
Words.
I was watching a documentary on the
Sorry about
man
that.
God purposely killed.
Who?
E-R.
What?
So this guy was supposed to be like one of the like history keepers for the Israelites, and
Okay.
he was supposed to like get married and have some kids, but he decided to marry a Canaanite woman.
Are
Now
we
they
talking
are,
like way super far in the past? Or?
yeah, like in the Bible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he married this Canaanite woman. It did something incredibly wicked. It's left very vague, but the Jewish theologians said that it was either he abused his wife, he started bringing in Canaanite religious ideology into like his home, or he did something equally wicked. And then God just struck him down. It was like, enough of your shit.
Okay.
And I was like, wow. I mean, don't
And then
piss that
the
guy off.
then the documentary ended. The end.
Pretty much.
And everybody clapped.
It was like, and he was removed from the book of life. And I'm like, yeah, he was. Smote right there.
Bye.
He got one sentence in the Bible, and then he was gone after that.
He got sentenced to be fucked.
Yeah, so that led me down a rabbit hole of like biblical documentaries and stuff. I was reading about the Wandering Jew while watching a documentary on did the Vatican have a vampire? You know, all sorts of stuff, and that's what I kind of did my day doing.
Quintus
Wow.
says the rules are more like guidelines anyway. Well, technically, fair use doesn't have rules. It does have guidelines.
Yeah, there's no specific rules, and that's what I hate about it. I wish there were specific rules. Why is that so fucking hard? Why can't politicians ever make a clear rule? It always has to be, oh, it's gotta be interpreted through the courts. Fuck off. Just say what the rules are. Holy fuck, how hard can it be? No,
Alan,
we gotta
thank
have
you.
it interpreted.
Alan, thank you for becoming a member for month number 19. Good morning, gentlemen. 3 of the greatest streamers ever. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I would like, but before we ever got to that, if Twitch just followed like DMCA rules, this wouldn't be an issue. If Twitch had the rules that YouTube used to have, I know everybody hates YouTube copyright rules. I mostly don't. I hate their system for catching things because it's crap. But at least YouTube makes an effort where a lot of the rest, this is going to have some serious consequences for Twitch and Kick and Rumble, because if you're allowing this shit on your thing, some lawyer, if these girls get paid, some lawyer's going to go, I want Amazon money, and they're going to get it.
How are they gonna get paid?
Because Amazon owns Twitch and Twitch allows this. And they can point to people like Frogan and Hassan, and especially with Hassan, there's no way Twitch can go, we didn't know what he was doing.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, while RICO statutes don't exactly apply here, you are the one who's facilitating it. So
I wish it would, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Some lawyer, if
Oh.
these girls, if these look, I'm with you, especially on the way that these people that they just steal content and they shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. But if you want that to continue, ladies, you need to just settle now. Hassan, float him a check, call it a gift. They won't be taxed on it. Float him a check to make this go away, because otherwise this is going to have some serious ramifications as soon as lawyers realize they can make money.
Yeah.
And lawyers like money.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I know. I was
no.
shocked to learn that too.
I was really shocked when you said that.
Evolved.
Yeah, I think I think this is going to be very interesting.
And funny.
Extremely interesting. Yes.
Evolve says, especially with Hassan, Twitch knows about it. Yeah,
I don't really want like React streamers to go away. That's not what I want. I just want all those fuckheads to suffer. So it's kind of a
I
weird
want React
situation.
streamers who aren't actually reacting to go away.
Sure.
Because that has been my problem with this all along. I would be a fucking hypocrite to go, you can't ever use anyone else's work. I mean, literally, that's how I started out and what
But
I
I
still do.
just want there to be clear rules.
Yeah.
Why can't there just be clear? Just say 51%. How hard can that be?
See, this is my problem with humans in general, because we shouldn't even need the rules here. We should be like, yeah, stealing is wrong. But if somebody can make money, they'll do it, and that's what they do. I mean,
yeah, but we all know that. But
okay.
So like there's so many, and you know, obviously Frogan and all those guys, they're very up in the air right now. But there are thousands of people just reacting, just sitting there doing nothing right now. Just put out a rule that you have to have 51% of the time it's you talking. That should be fine for any streamer.
Pyrus says there's socialist monkeys, stealing is a virtue to them. That's fair enough.
Yeah, they don't call it steal, they call it redistribution. No, monkey, that word stealing. They do have a problem with that. Because who's that guy that went up and did the first download off of cloud? Moses, I think his name was. He downloaded everything.
He was a communist. Fuck him.
Yeah, well, that Moses fella came down with the list of rules. It broke that neat statue everybody was building, and the rules said do not steal. So that's
but he was a communist. Fuck him.
Well, Moses was a Jew, and they don't like Jews. So of course,
there you go. There's the problem. There's your problem.
Yeah.
Eldridge said, if I wasn't so lazy, I wanted to make a reaction channel that only reacts to people who react to other people who react to original content.
But that's what they do, right? I don't know how many React videos I've seen where there's like all these layers of avatars on top of avatars, or screen cams on top of screen cams. And I'm like, which level Inception are we on right now? Like, oh, okay, so he's reacting to her, and she's reacting to him, and then that and on top of that, and then there's like Turkey Tom on top of everyone. Like, what's happening? Who's reacting? Who's talking?
Yeah, and that happens way more than it should. I've watched some where it's a clip on like Twitter, and I'm not sure who the live person is, because there's so many different.
I know you're supposed to know how all their voices sound, but I'm like, who's talking right now? And I like Turkey Tom, so I'm not saying he's an idiot or anything, but it's so weird when all these videos happen, because like I have no idea who's talking right now. Like I don't know these people, and I don't know their voice, and I'm supposed to know, I guess.
My problem with all of it is the lack of new content. It's why I don't watch so many of the big name folks. Like, I know who XQC is. I've never watched a single stream of his
No, I've never watched anything of his.
because all he does is watch what other people do and go, uh-huh, or nuh-uh, and that's it.
Okay.
He doesn't
Okay.
add anything.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, the joke around here is if we're going to watch a half-hour video, it's going to take us 6 hours.
It's not a joke. That's just reality. Right?
That's reality. That's true. And I'm not asking for that from everybody, but at least the 51% that Undoomed's been talking about, you can do that, right?
Yeah. I mean,
If
a
not-
good example, one of my favorite example, I keep bringing up Turkey Tom, but he did a good one when he responded to Louis McClug.
Oh,
whatever
yeah,
the fuck
yeah.
his name is. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was live, and he fucking destroyed him. That was a good live stream.
You and I have both done reaction videos. I mean, that's what the content was when I came here. We would
Yeah.
find some bedroom feminist or other news kind of thing, and we would react to it. And
Yeah,
You
the only difference is now they do it in 2 hours. We did it
Yeah.
in 10 minutes, but
you would
now
cut
it
out
takes
the
2
parts-
hours. Yeah,
you
we
cut
could
out the
have
parts
cut
you
it out.
didn't
Yeah, we cut it out and made it 10 minutes. But now it's 2 hours. And I'm not saying that's bad because I'm just sitting here working away. I'm like, yeah, 2 hour video. Fuck yeah. Put that on. And I'm just working away, right? So I'm not saying that's bad.
No,
It's
and
just
that's-
an
it's kind of my
evolution
point,
of
though, is
what
that
happened.
when we do that, it sometimes I react to live stuff here, stuff I haven't seen before, especially if there's like a debate or something. I want my live reaction to it.
Right.
But other times where somebody's like, hey, check this out, and I go to react on the line, I can't even do this because there's so much of this that should be cut out that
Right.
I feel dirty just letting it play. So when we would do videos, I remember people back in the day that have like a 20-minute video and every other reaction was 10 minutes. And if you'd watch it, you're like, they left in so much shit here that they did not need.
Right.
And
real quick. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That turned into 10-hour streams over on Twitch.
Real quickly. Thank you, Walt Potato. A problem with just having 51% is you could have 20 minutes of just straight someone else's content and then have 21 minutes of meaningless blather nonsense talk that no one will watch. There you have that. It's called BreadTube.
True.
Yeah, but at least that would be something. Now we have nothing. There are no rules. Now it's just like, well, it has to be transformative. Okay. The fuck does that mean? No one knows.
If they at least bothered to try to make it transformative, I've watched bad reactions before, and like what you just said is completely meaningless to what you were watching. You're too dumb to understand it, but at least you tried. These people don't even try. Frogan's own audience was like, would you please talk? Would you say something? Her
Yeah.
own audience. At that point, just turn it off and go, you know what, guys, I don't have anything to add to this. I'll do a video reaction, or I'll watch the whole thing and react that way.
Yeah, but they don't do videos on Twitch.
True. Mama Bear, thank you so much. Love your content. Usually the replays. Can I get a happy birthday song from you, or for my boys? Absolutely. I need a name though. Just throw it into chat. So that I don't just want to sing to my boys, because then it sounds like I'm singing to my sons. Not my grandsons, because my children have not given me any grandsons yet.
Apparently, they're not going to.
Whoa.
Don't get me wrong, I love my granddaughters, but every so often we'll be walking through the clothes section for little people, and I'll see like the cutest little outfit that would look so cute on a little boy, and I'm like, but I have all girls.
Yeah, and you'd be like going to your sons and daughters and beating them.
Like, hey, give me a grandson.
I
I think
Yeah.
they're all done though, so I think we're just 5 granddaughters, which is awesome because they are the most awesome little people you ever met.
Well, at least you know your line will go on. With men, you
Indeed.
never know.
True. Selective service is a thing. Okay, Michael and Noah. All right. As always, if you want to join in, you can, Undoom, but it's not required. Michael and Noah, this one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday
Happy
to you.
birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
birthday,
dear Michael and Noah.
Noah.
Happy birthday
Happy birthday
to you.
to you.
Happy birthday, fellas. Hope you had a good one. Really, really do. Bullwinkle, thank you. No reason, buy a beer or a coffee or a glass of milk, your choice. I'm going to go with milk because the other two are gross.
What?
I appreciate it. I don't drink beer or coffee.
What do you drink?
Mostly Diet Pepsi.
Okay, but if you want some booze?
If I want booze, I typically start with a shot of tequila and then drink Jack and Coke.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the way you're gonna have it, I guess.
If I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink. I don't want to buzz.
I'm not arguing with that. I mean, I would just go for single malts. Jesus Christ.
Nah, that shit's nasty.
Oh, fuck you.
You really need to try orange cream Coke Zero. I'm gonna pass. That sounds nasty.
It's
What do you drink, Jack?
as far as alcohol,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm a terrible drunk.
Oh, okay.
Like the kind that will get you the police to show up kind of drunk. So I
Okay.
choose not to drink because it just ends poorly. If
Well, I
do
mean,
drink.
I respect that. If you know that about yourself, that's what you should do.
Yeah, and my family history involves a lot of alcoholics. So I would rather not give in to the possibility because destroyed a lot
That's
of
good.
families over the years. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't drink. I did in college, and every now and then I'll have like some pussy girl drink. But yeah, I don't drink very often. It's very, very rare.
I do like girl drinks. I like pina coladas and daiquiris and my favorite, a margarita.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a girl drink guy. If you give me what is that? Like a
Zima.
No,
Mama Bear Brock says your videos introduced me to our Stargate SG-1 before my husband had me watch them. Awesome. That is amazing. I love Stargate SG-1 so much. I think it's the greatest thing ever, and probably in a month or something, I'm going to talk to the showrunner of Stargate SG-1.
Oh,
what?
cool.
Really?
Well, actually, I have it a stream with him before, but we talked today, and he wanted to do some sort of stream about SG-1. So
That's awesome.
All right,
Well,
I put a penis. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I put a penis on the screen, but I need to step away for just a minute, so I'll be right back, gentlemen.
So thanks for putting the dick on the screen. Oh, that's really cool, man. I love that show. I watched all 10 seasons.
It's the most amazing show ever.
And it had so much potential. Like that Stargate Universe show they were doing had so much potential. They just sort of,
Yeah, that one was a little bit. They sidestepped things there. They tried to make it Stargate Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, and I saw what they were going for. It just didn't. Like somewhere along the line, it just didn't work.
No, it's kind of like this thing where you see where culture is going, but there's also this thing is where is your brand, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like if McDonald's would start to just do like completely plant-based. It's like, sure, that's very hip, but that's not McDonald's.
Yeah,
right?
and you lose your legacy and your longevity.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they did. But apart from that, let's forget about that one. They tried, and I respect their try, but Stargate SG-1, man, that's the
Oh, that was
greatest
the best
show.
one. Yeah, I was thinking that they really had a lot of possibilities to do other shows about other teams. And one I would be really interested in is if they did an alternate universe one. Where you remember there was an episode where they started off with one of the teams getting stuck in a black hole.
Hmm.
And what if they popped out in an alternate universe where there was still Stargates and everything, but they had to kind of
But they
uh,
did have kind of similar episodes, not that exact one, but they had episodes where there were all these different Stargate teams that came to SG-1 or the SGC, I should say,
mhm.
uh, where they came from different universes. You remember that?
Yeah, vaguely. It's been a while since I've seen the show, but yeah.
Right. So it's kind of similar.
Yeah, but I would like to see like a mini series based around that. It's just a
The
play with the
thing
science
is,
fiction aspects.
right. The thing is now, all this stuff has been bought by Amazon, obviously, so it's probably going to get rebooted into some sort of generic blah 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 thing that. Oh my! I fear for the time that happens. It's
I
gonna be
agree.
like it's
Well, it's
gonna
gonna
be
be
like
like predictable. You're gonna have your strong female woman of color who's the smartest person in the room.
yeah, she's gonna be the one that does everything. There's not gonna be any sort of Samantha Jackson or Daniel Jackson or anything like that. She's
Yeah,
gonna do everything, and then she's gonna have three side characters that are bumbling idiots for comedy,
yeah. Well,
right?
there'll be like the strong female leads who will be like
Yeah,
the lead of the team and the lead of the agency, and all the bungling dumb guys that'll all be white, and the
yeah,
gay black man.
yeah. He might be a hacker or something.
Yeah, yeah. They always have the gay black man because
Yeah,
black men aren't allowed to be cool and strong anymore. That's I think why Luke Cage failed. Was they were
I
like, this is
guess.
too masculine. You can't
Yeah,
have
so
that.
he's got to be a nerd. So he's got to
Yeah,
be like a gay black hacker.
yeah. They have to destroy everything fun about it. And it'll be like, oh, they're just misunderstood little space
And
worms.
I've talked to Joseph Malassi about this, and he's like, nah, yeah, I have nothing to do with this. I'm not involved. They bought everything. Don't involve me in this shit.
Yeah.
Let me get this real quick. Bullwinkle, thank you. I started drinking beer in the Marine Corps, coffee in the Navy, and whiskey when Biden was president. Fair.
Like all at the same time?
I hadn't really thought about it till you just mentioned it, Jack, but the gay black man is a trope now. And do you think that's because white girls are afraid of black men?
No, I
And
think it's because leftist liberals want to be comfortable around black men, but the only way they can be is if they're gay.
they don't make them just
Look at
gay,
all
they
the
make
gay
them
black.
super gay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean they're like half gay, half trans.
well, they're all RuPaul.
Yes.
Right.
I want to dive deeper into what you guys are talking about, but I also wanted to talk about what dipshit was going to say. So I'm
Well,
torn.
No, I
let's
just thought it was really
continue
cool.
with the subject we're on, and then we'll get to the next one.
But since we're
What were you
talking
saying?
about gay black men, I am going to leave Adam Schiff on the screen.
Yeah, well, he's gay, so in the metaphorical sense.
When you say
see?
Undoomed, when you said the gentleman you were talking to said, don't blame me, I have nothing to do with it anymore because they bought it out.
Mhm.
It made me think of Doctor Who, which I'm not a fan of, but I watched Disparu and him talking about it
Mhm.
and what's been done with that and how Disney got involved with it recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they make Doctor Who a flamboyantly gay black man.
Yeah.
Well, I obviously heard about this, but I don't watch Doctor Who, so I don't really care. But go ahead
my
and tell me
interest in
about
it,
it.
I don't, again, I've never been a Doctor Who fan, and it always, I think they have some interesting story arcs, especially way back in the day that I've heard about, but I have trouble watching their special effects because they're so bad. Even today, they are so bad.
Look, just because
Yeah.
we could recreate half those episodes with a rock quarry and like $50 of spray foam and whatever's laying around your house,
But that's what
doesn't
they
mean anything.
do. That's
Yeah,
what they
that's
do.
just how you make do. You make do with what you got. Like, look, it's no budget filmmaking back in the day. I'm an
But
old time Doctor Who fan. They have ruined.
I
the
remember Doctor Who from when I was a kid. It was like those what's that called when you have that wrap foam where you can squish it and it goes pop?
Oh shit. I don't remember what it's called. I know what you're talking about though.
Like that they wrapped some guy in that and he sort of squished on the floor and that was an alien. That's what I remember from when I was a kid. That
Yeah.
was Doctor Who. And I was
Bad,
like,
bad
nope,
special
not
effects.
watching that shit. Fuck off.
Oh, that show is so awesome.
And that was like 10 years after Star Trek. So I was like, oh my God, this is much worse than Star Trek was 10 years ago.
The most I've seen of Doctor Who, my son became a fan of it, and so I sat down to watch an episode of it with him, and this is like maybe 15 years ago, and
Mhm.
I was like, this is like the original Star Trek kind of special effects. This is bad.
Right, right.
But Doctor Who premiered 3 years before the original Star Trek, and its budget never really improved.
Never went up, no.
No.
But Disney got involved, and they did throw a ton of money at this thing. And I'm with you on Doom. I don't really care about Doctor Who.
Mhm.
But as somebody who's watched franchises I do care about just get absolutely devastated.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just another legacy franchise. This one's been around for 60 plus years, and they've managed to shit all over it to the point that you had old time fans bailing on it.
Mhm.
Like this
Yeah.
last season was the lowest rated ever, even when Jodie Whittaker in all her glory ruined it with the one of their stupid storylines where they rewrote the Doctor's origin.
But hasn't this been like on a plane hitting the ground trajectory for years?
Oh yeah. It more or less we're on the bouncing part where it already hit the ground, and
Mhm.
they're just hoping to find some survivors in some of the rubble. But they're not going to, and that's kind of what just.
I remember like 4 years ago or something, they were like, oh my God, it's nothing but social justice stories.
Yeah.
Every story is about social justice. At that point, I don't think they had like a DIA hire at that point, but some old guy or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, they
But-
had that was Peter Capaldi, the 12th Doctor. He was a good actor. He just got shit scripts, and they were starting to filter a lot of that crap in. But in this latest rendition of the 14th or technically 15th Doctor, he's they were talking. Well, the one of the doctors got corrected on pronouns. This guy's addressing racism, pronouns, and pretty much everything under the sun. Gay relationships in the 1800s. They had a drag queen villain. I wish I was kidding about that. But yeah, they just beat it into your head, and the Doctor's this pussy that cries.
I mean, isn't
now.
it amazing like how trans people are like 0.02% of the population and they take out about 50% of our entertainment?
Yeah, it seems to be something they're pushing really hard lately.
Like if they were 0.0.2, whatever it is in real life, point of entertainment, nobody would have a problem with it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so
No.
there's a trans person in this story. Fine. But they have to be 50% of everything now.
Yeah, I want to know where all the Melungeons are. The blue
The
people.
what?
The Melungeons. They were mixed race communities in the South. Where are they? Where are the blue people? You know, the people with too much silver content in their skin. They look like Smurfs. Where the fuck are they represented? Huh? I feel like they're being oppressed by all these overuse of trans people.
This is part of my problem with it too. When we're talking about like, not only is he black, he's gay, but with what's his name, I forget how you say his name, Kiwi Gatwa or whatever, the guy who played the last Doctor.
Yeah, close enough.
The what? Who?
Nukti Gatwa. That's the
Nazi.
actor's name.
Nazi
His
Gatwa.
His name is Nazi.
Yeah, no, Nukti.
Nukti.
Something like that.
No, his name is Nazi. Fuck off. We're never gonna say that other name.
There's at least 2 episodes where he's running around in a dress the whole time, and he's not like impersonating a woman. He's a dude just wearing a dress.
Yeah, he's in drag. Yeah, and look at what he's wearing there. It looks like something you'd put on a toddler.
Why?
He's wearing a skirt and a woman's vest is what he's wearing here.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's breaking social norms. It's all about the message. All about breaking down social norms.
What does that has to do? What does that have to do with the story?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That is the story.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there.
Absolutely. The plots make no sense. They're just there for like there was a character named Billy a couple doctors back, and she just told you how she was a lesbian. That was her entire character traits. Not like, oh yeah, I was a space medic, and that's where I met the doctor and decided to help him out. And it comes up occasionally. I do some medic stuff. No, all his companions were useful to some degree. They had good skills sets. But no, this bitch was just like, I'm gay.
What's a companion?
That's the sidekicks.
Is that like his girlfriend?
No. They're just literally just people that hang out with him. The doctor used to be very asexual. He didn't have any like real attraction to anybody. It's just like they were friends and they'd hang out on little.
That sounds gay though.
It kind of does, but at the same time, they never had to pursue any romantic inclinations at all. And
as far as you know.
Well, that was the whole point of the story, was that he's sort of like this teacher type character. You're going on these adventures.
But teachers always fuck their students, you know that.
Well, I understand that, but it was never explicitly said.
Say that's not true, because 4th grade would have been much more fun.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
The teacher was a dude.
What?
No, I had 2 female teachers, so it was okay.
What did you just say?
Said 4th grade would have been more fun if teachers always
for fucking your teacher.
Yeah. Oh God, she was cute, dude.
Oh my God.
That was my first teacher crush.
4th grade teacher was.
Yeah. She was cute.
You're like, what is the reverse of pedophile?
I like older women. I always have. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Weirdo.
Holy shit.
But see, that was back when teachers wouldn't touch you. I kept waving my wiener at her and nothing. Nothing.
Teacher, look at my dick.
Evil One, you were right about Shin-Chan. Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. The original series Star Trek had an average episode budget of about $180,000. The original Doctor Who series had a starting budget of around £2,000, maxing around $20,000 about a decade after it started. For the budget, I'd say they did pretty good. If the budget was that low.
Look,
that explains the bubble wrap. That's the word I was looking for.
I'm not saying they
Bubble
didn't
wrap.
do good with what they had. I'm just saying what they had was shit. That's all.
Hey, when you have paper mache and chicken wire, there's only so much you can do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, dudes. I saw the bubble wrap and I was like, nope, never again.
Yeah, the one that I watched, it's this being that is just a face, and it's stretched out like I don't even know how to describe it exactly, but it's just a face that's stretched out between these 2 poles, and it was the weirdest looking thing, but still so low def that it was disturbing to watch.
Oh, that was in one of the newer series.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
yeah, this wasn't even one of the old
Come
ones.
again? Come again? There was what?
It's a face just stretched between 2 metal poles. That was the monster or whatever it was supposed to be.
No, that was
okay. So that kind of that thing that was in TNG,
kind of, but not as well done.
That character was the last human, and they were watching the universe explode. That was the point, was she was supposed to be the last human, and then the doctor shows up with an actual human who's like normal. So
okay,
it was sort of it was supposed to be silly, I guess, but it was just kind of weird and creepy. I know what you're talking about. That's
Everybody's all the fans seem to know what I was talking about. Great episode, and that was my problem with it too, is because the writing and everything on it wasn't that bad. It was an interesting story, but the graphics, I just couldn't. I put Kiwi Naki, whatever his fucking name is, on screen. This is him in his normal life.
Yeah, he's very flamboyant. Yes,
Oh my
moisturize
God.
me.
All right, so that's your star, huh?
That's your star.
That's what they went for. They decided that the doctor needed to be black and gay.
They couldn't just do one or the other. It's like, let's get the fucking whole package.
Well, yeah, two birds, one stone kind of thing.
Yeah.
Why do all characters in media who are gay have to be flamboyantly gay?
And why can't they just say that they're gay when it's relevant?
Yeah, like just be normal. I mean,
Like, I have never known. I know several gay people, and no one is like this. They're just like, they shut the fuck up about their sex life, just like a heterosexual person does.
yeah, 'cause
We don't
nobody
go
wants to
around
fucking hear it.
talking about, oh my God, dude, I just fucked my girlfriend yesterday. Oh, you should have seen her. Oh, I plowed her. Fuck yeah.
No,
It
but we
is
have to
that-
get these caricatures because that's what they think everybody wants.
Gay is the personality.
Oh yeah. Well, modern writers seem to have difficulty with personality traits to begin with. So just saying, well, he's gay and black, so we could talk about oppression.
Yeah, I can't wait for the gay black James Bond.
Oh, it's
Shut
going to
up.
happen.
It's gonna, absolutely. When you talk to that gentleman, I forget his name, the one from Stargate.
Joseph Malazzi?
Yeah. 'Cause I watched the first one that you did. God, what was that, like years ago now, right?
Yeah, probably
Probably two,
2
maybe.
years.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, but I don't remember. Did you guys talk about modern Hollywood at all?
I don't remember exactly, but I don't think so. We were mostly just talking about Stargate, obviously, because that's
Well,
he was the showrunner.
I'm curious if he can think of any episodes that wouldn't be kosher to make these days.
Oh, probably. But I don't
Probably
know.
most, but no, we didn't talk about that.
That might
Uh-uh.
be too hot button if he's still working
Sure,
in
sure.
the industry.
No, I'm sure we could talk about that, but we just didn't at that point. I was just so giddy to talk about Stargate with the actual showrunner. I was just fucking coming in my pants.
Yeah. Can he acquire a large Stargate prop replica for my house?
Jack, remember the rules about asking people to break the law on the
I didn't ask to break any law. I just asked about replicas.
theoretically.
Yeah, it's all hypothetical.
Well, you could build a Stargate with a toaster. You know that, right?
How did you
normal people could. I could.
if this is docs worthy kind of stuff, you don't have to answer, but how did you end up being able to talk to this guy?
We just followed each other on Twitter. He apparently liked my videos.
Well, he apparently has good taste then.
Yes.
Nobody ever follows me that's famous. They're always like, fuck this guy. I get congressmen who respond to me.
Ted Lieu doesn't count as a real person.
It could have just been for my space videos, maybe. I don't know, but for some reason he followed me and we started talking. And
That is cool. Is there any? I mean, you guys are gonna do it again, so you get the chance. Is there anything you wish you'd asked him that you didn't get to then? Like after you were done, you're like, oh shit, I meant to ask about this.
Not really. I can't think of anything.
Because as
I
I
mean,
remember it, it was
I mean, it's like it's different from when I talk to like um, what's his name, Edward James Olmos,
oh
right?
right, yeah.
Because then I knew like I'll never talk to him again. So maybe I would think about that kind of stuff. But with Joseph Malazzi, I keep talking to him every once in a while, and we're gonna do something again in the future, and so it's like no, I don't have any regrets in that sense.
Oh,
But
that's
with
cool. Yeah,
James or almost James, what the fuck is his name?
Edward James almost.
Edward James almost. Uh, that was an amazing thing to do because I mean
Yeah.
I don't even know how long he's gonna live. And he's such a legendary actor, and I have loved Battlestar Galactica for so long, and before that, I loved um, um, his portray in fuck, what's it called? Blade Runner.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
right, yeah.
Um,
Edward
and
James almost is one of those characters or one of those actors I don't realize how many things he was in until I see him in something like, oh shit, he was in this.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I almost forgot he was in Blade Runner, but Miami Vice.
Miami Vice, of course.
Yeah.
Um, the Ballad of Gregorio Cortez. So many things.
Now-
yeah, he was in Wolfen, but I don't think anybody but me cares about that.
Um, oh, apparently Mama Bear just finished Battlestar Galactica. The
It's such a
original or the
great show.
remake?
No, of course the remake. I'm too young to know about the original.
Oh fuck.
I'm sure people were
old.
pissed off about the remake, like they were now, like I am about the remake of Star Trek. So I guess I can understand that in that sense, but
Well,
I
this
don't know
is-
anything about the originals.
this is
Battlestar
actually
Galactica.
why I wanted to stay on this topic because as I recall, I know Battlestar Galactica that there were some changes to it when it's remade, but they
Mhm.
still tried to stay true to the original.
Mhm.
And nowadays it seems like they just don't give a shit about the original. There's no trying to stay true even to like the
No.
spirit of it.
They
I mean,
want
look
the
at this fucker on the screen.
Yeah, they want the brand
Yeah,
recognition.
I mean, there's like obviously even back then you had to have some gender swaps, right?
Sure.
But they did it so smartly because they took like the drunk, womanizing, fighting, fucking asshole, and then they turned him into a woman in the new one, and that made it interesting. Like a drunk woman who fights and fucks everyone. It's like, oh my God, there's so much potential for drama there, right? That
Well,
was a super smart thing to do.
It also helped that they had good script writers and good actors.
Yes, I mean, they had obviously one of the best, the guy who wrote all the best script for Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Ronald D. Ford. What is that his name? Ronald D. Moore. There we go. He wrote so much of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which is also one of my absolute favorite series.
Mama Bear there says she's getting ready to get into, or she needs to watch Deep Space Nine, and she needs to finish TNG. Both excellent series. Zephyrus, thank you so much. What does it say? Even? Does that say even? Jack, will you read that one for me?
Even from the beautiful Juno, how we doing, gentlemen, in chat? It took me a second. I don't know Alaska as well as I probably should.
Thank you for that feminist $12. Sometimes the backgrounds make it really hard for me to read them. Sorry about that. Thank you for reading that, Jack.
Oh yeah. Well, I hope it is beautiful in Juneau, because if it's not, well, that would really suck because it already's cold there year round.
One of these days, I'll watch DS9. DS9 has the same problem that all Star Trek does, is that the first season they're still getting their feet. So don't give up on it in the first season.
Yeah. I mean, Star Trek TNG is awful the first season.
It is.
Holy fuck.
I
DS9 is not that awful, but it's also like pretty like
It's stiff.
It's a bit of a slog
Yeah.
until they get rid of Jake.
Then
it gets better.
For me,
Jake.
Yeah, I hated that character.
I don't
You
like
mean
kids
Jake
on
Sisko?
TV shows.
Yeah, I hated that kid.
No, they didn't get rid of him. What do you mean?
I didn't watch
He's-
any episodes with him, so they got rid of him.
No, I guess they de-emphasized him, but yeah, he was. Jake Sisko is in there every episode.
No, he's in this weird, like, blurry thing that when I forward through it.
No,
He's in the fast forward parts.
He's in there like every season, some episode.
Not on my
He never bothered me like Wesley.
Like Wesley. Oh, I fucking hated Wesley.
Oh, everybody hated
Yeah.
Wesley. He was such an annoying little
Jake
twat.
was just a normal kid. He was like in there sometimes, and Cisco would go like, "Oh, hi, kid," whatever, and then bye. He would be gone.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But-
it
but-
usually went, "Hey, kid, bye, kid."
Yeah, but Wesley, he always had to be like, "I'm going to take over the ship. I'm the
Yep.
greatest kid ever. Call you later, Captain. I'm going to take over the ship now. Bye."
I am
he was
so
like Harry
tired.
Sue.
I'm so tired of the incredibly smart child trope. I just
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
You know where they did that really well? Doctor Who, where they killed him.
There you go.
They had a
Okay,
super
good.
smart kid, and he's like, he was trying to stop a ship from running into the Earth. And he's like, I could do it. And he ends up punching in a bunch of codes, sends the ship back through time. And then he's like, I'm not done yet. And I guess I'll never know if I was right. Boom. Ship explodes. Kid
Okay.
died.
That wasn't nearly as good as I expected.
No,
I thought it was
wasn't.
just going to be
It
like,
wasn't for him.
"I'm a kid. I can fix this," and then someone shot him in the head. That would have been
No,
perfect.
that'd have been awesome. But the kid was like,
Real quick.
throughout the series, like real smart.
I want to address this comment that was in chat, completely off topic. Is Monkey excited for 7 Days to Die 2.0? No, everything I hated about 7 Days to Die from Alpha 21 on, they just like, let's make more of that shit. And no, I'm not excited about it at all. Anyway, I don't understand why they have this fascination with the super smart child.
No, that was Gene Roddenberry's thing. I don't know why he pushed that. It's boring and it was obnoxious and shut the fuck up. Nobody likes Wesley Crusher. Kill me now.
I think they were trying really hard to relate to younger viewers, but
I don't think so. Some people say that. I don't think so. I think that was Gene Roddenberry's self-insert. But who cares? It was obnoxious as fuck. Nobody liked it, and obviously, after they found out, they toned it down more and more each season.
yeah,
They
that
never
show got a
killed
lot
him,
better when
though.
they got rid of him.
Sorry?
They never killed him, though, which I was really hoping for.
Well, they sent him off to the Neverland of whatever in that later episode.
Yeah, with that
Crazy.
smooth skin weird guy. Like, here's
Yeah,
the
the
previous dude you remember seeing.
pedophile came back and
Yeah.
he sort of took him to pedophile land.
Kids like him are why I travel. Yeah, I bet they are, dude. Bet they are.
We're gonna travel along. Good.
Because that's when the gifted child propaganda started. Well, there's always been the notion of the wisdom out of the mouth of babes, and what nobody ever pays attention to that is it's accidentally said. If a kid says something that sounds smart, it's not because they're geniuses, they just tripped over it. And Hollywood
it's
and
just
the left.
regurgitating something.
Yeah, they take that and like, no, they're kids are so smart. No, kids are dumb.
Kids are retarded.
They don't. We literally have to teach them how to talk. That's how dumb they are.
Right.
Well, and it's usually when you hear that out of the mouth of babes, it's because they said something that violated a social grace.
Yes.
Like, mommy, that lady smells. Out of the mouth of babes.
Thank you, Cephrius, again. I'm replaying Starfield. Finally got a mod to work that gives me a full interior and cockpit of the Ebon Hawk from Knights of the Old Republic. Oh, cool. I've thought about replaying Starfield, but that game is so utterly boring. So boring. All of the complaints that gamers had, like the planets are all the same. That part I didn't care about, but the story is stupid and boring. And I can
if a game has a story, it is boring.
I like story-driven games. Because I enjoy them.
You know what I like? Cigar Chomping Penguin. Thank you for that generous donation.
I like when you have to build things.
Oh, me too. I love my builders.
Yeah,
I don't build things. I don't play games. I play mobile games. Leave me alone. Thank you, Cigar
like
Chomping
diamonds and shit.
No, like what was it? I was playing bingo on there earlier today. I got misplaced, so I'd play stuff.
Solitaire is a hot game.
It really is.
Yeah.
Let me grab this chat here. Thank you, Cigar Chomping Penguin, for that generous donation. How to piss off a Star Trek fan? Tell them in TNG, O'Brien tells his wife, "The Minstrel Boys," a song about war and glory. In DS9, Worf compares the Irish wake and other things O'Brien does to Klingon culture. Ergo, Klingons are space leprechauns.
Not sure how that's going to piss off a Star Trek fan, though. But
depends on how much you hate the Irish, I suppose.
Yeah,
I get. I mean, it could piss off the Irish. I get that.
Thank you, Penguin.
Now, as somebody of Irish descent, that just we're the Klingons. Cool.
I just
yeah.
I subscribe to the theory that Klingons in the future are actually guys that SG-1 came around to and said, "Your gods are fuckheads, kill them," and they did.
Fair.
That is the truth. That is how it went down.
Have any of us ever played No Man's Sky? I've played a shit ton of No Man's Sky. You can actually, I believe I have gameplay of it up on my gaming channel. I haven't played the new update to it, but I will eventually get around to that. Play a lot of video games around here, Undoomed. I have a lot of free time, so, you know.
Right.
Free time and a body that doesn't like to move, that makes playing video games awesome. If they weren't awesome enough already.
Yeah, you're a fortunate guy in that sense.
Right,
I guess.
It's like, sorry, babe, I can't do that. I'm crippled.
That was the list, India Monkey. I was playing Warhammer 40K on my phone. Tacticus.
You were not. You were playing bingo. Could you be?
No, I wasn't.
Old man. Old man.
No, solitaire.
Bingo on his phone. Could you be more of a stereotype?
I know, right? But I was earning misplay points so I could get a gift card.
I was watching a documentary on Donnie Brasco the other day, and they were talking about they were talking about the club that the mobs had set up. Well, actually, it was a club set up by the FBI, but where they were running stuff for the mob so that they could bring them down. And they mentioned something I had never thought of before. The way they made most of their money wasn't through like roulette or craps. It was bingo.
Okay.
Bingo was their big cash thing.
Bingo
like, really?
Is his name, Mo?
I just found that fascinating that the mob was making a shit ton of money off of old ladies. I guess with the slot machines they do too, but goddamn. You don't got to pimp women. You just wait till they're old and sell them a card where they might win $20.
Dude, old people are the biggest money wasters on the planet.
Well, they fall for all those tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
I mean, you're bored. You want something to do.
Oh
maybe
God,
a
have
great-
you ever gotten those emails? They're so funny when you get those emails like, "I've been watching you through your cam. I've been recording everything you've done. You've been watching all these pornos, and I've been recording everything. You have to send me $20,000 on crypto right now, or I'll fucking send it to your contacts." Have you gotten those?
I have not gotten those ones. I've heard about those, but no, I've not been. Well, you know what? In fairness, I don't check my email all that often, so maybe.
Uh,
I've gotten like at least two of those. Like, oh my God, you fuckheads! You have no idea who I am. You don't know anything about me.
if you actually saw what I was doing, you would not be talking to me. You'd be like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, this guy's weird."
Dark Conservatarian, thank you so much. You guys mentioned effeminate black men in shows like Doctor Who. Read next live chat. YouTube is censoring me. Okay, it goes on to say the movie Sinners, on the opposite end of the spectrum, had a handful of truly masculine black male characters and seemed to pride in masculinity. There's an argument growing over the inclusion of masculinity in media. Starting to see it really popping up in video games and television shows in the online spaces, and men coming out and being like, I like masculine things.
What?
I want to root for the guy who has honor and courage and goes out there and protects people.
It's almost like this is a lost art from 30 years ago. You know,
I
the way
don't-
we had action movies.
This is what bothers me about remakes and stuff. I don't necessarily care that they're remaking it, but like everything has to be so watered down or gender swapped to SJW proportions to where men are not allowed to be men anymore. I remember watching the new rock stars when they were doing their retrospective on the Marvel universe, and they decided to go ahead and do the Fantastic Four too. And they watched the first Fantastic Four movie, and they're like, I can't believe what a dick Johnny was. And then the girl went with him, even though she gave no indication that she was into his maleness.
His maleness.
Like, you mean women are impressed by cocky guys and it worked for the guy? Weird.
Reminds me of that scene in PCU where the drunk guy gives the lesbian protester a beer, and she looks at one of her friends and says, "You mean if you're nice to them, they'll give you stuff?"
Yeah. But they've so watered down men to where men have to be basically midwives. I'll deliver your baby. It's all I'm good for, and then I'll take care of it while you ladies go out and fight. The Last of Us, as a video game, it's fine, but in a real zombie apocalypse, women would not be going out there and fighting the zombies unless it was a last resort, because you have to protect the women. It's how the species keeps going.
No, Monkey, you don't understand. The shield maidens were the real heroes of the Vikings, not the men. Because if there's one thing I've learned from entertainment the past 5 years, is that a 90-pound girl could take down a 250-pound man.
True.
With minimal effort.
All of them. Yeah. Not just one, but 10 of them.
Oh, yeah, easily. All at the same time.
Yeah.
And usually when you hear those kind of numbers, 10 dudes on one chick, you think you're talking about Bonnie Blue. But no, this is like Laura Croft on crack.
Yeah. And apparently now Bonnie Blue has been banned.
Yeah, well,
yes.
You know.
Johnny Hellcat, thank you. Great. There goes our last female. Right. Yeah. Send the wombs out there to fight. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bonnie Blue, I saw Bering's video on her where she was sitting down with that journalist who was asking her about all the guys who plowed her, and the journalist basically told her she had a big twat.
She had a what? She had a what?
She had a big vagina.
Oh.
Yeah. Told her it was all
big. Well, obviously she's got a big vagina. There's been 10,000 people in it.
Right?
She said her number is 2047 or something like
Oh,
that.
'cause I'm sorry. Okay, 2,000 then, not
2000.
10,000. Okay, I'm so sorry. I slandered you.
For the people who are wondering who this is the chick who set the world record of getting plowed 1,000 times in a day. And she's been kicked off OnlyFans because she was going to do a challenge where you could go to her and do literally anything you wanted, and she would let herself be used that way for like 24 hours. And OnlyFans went, this is too far.
Yeah, when even OnlyFans goes like, holy shit, we're out.
Yeah.
Then you might be kind of fucked. Like,
Might be time to rethink your position.
yeah, OnlyFans will do. You could shove any sort of thing up any orifice or whatever, and there'd be like, that is making us money good. And they're gonna be like, nope, that's too far. Then
Well,
you might be, then you might be fucking some shit up.
their reasoning is something like they don't want to encourage that kind of behavior.
Oh
Mhm.
God forbid.
And it's like, you're OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'm glad they found some moral high ground they could stand on among all the sea of jizz.
Anyway, guys, I hate to do this, but I need to go try to get a little bit more sleep before the girls wake up.
Right.
So we got to wrap this one up. Your wife needs to go. I don't know if you guys actually got married. Your woman needs to go out of town more so we can do this more often. Because I've enjoyed the conversation as I always do.
Oh, hey, before
It's
we
always
get too
fun,
far,
man. Always fun.
Real quick, thank you, Frosted Glass. In anticipation of a Black James Bond, here's a short list of possible titles: The Spy Who Mugged Me, From Compton with Love, The Man with the Golden Rims, Thunderballer, Chicken Finger, Kentucky Fry Another Day, No Time to Pay Child Support. Jesus, Frosted.
Is there anything about thug?
No, the word thug's not in there,
We
shockingly.
gotta get a thugger ball or something. We gotta get
Thugger
thug in
ball.
there.
Wouldn't you go with the man with the golden teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That
If you
works,
spell
that
the
works.
teeth. Yes.
Teeth, yes. Sephirus, thank you. Shield maidens didn't exist like in Viking. However, the women folk did learn to fight just in case the village was attacked while the men folk were out raiding. No, the women did it all. The men stayed home and nursed the children. That is scientific fact.
Men are
yeah.
literally scared of everything. That is just science, according to modern sociology. So,
Of
Yes.
course.
Who do you
Men
trust?
stayed home and birthed the children and
Yeah.
nursed them, and women went out and fought.
Yeah.
It's the reality. And
You-
on that note, we're going to wrap up. Guys, thanks for joining us. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are amazing. Undoomed, anything you want to shill out? Do you know when you're having that conversation, or are you guys still in the early stages?
No,
Setting it up.
that's just early. We don't know yet.
Anything else you'd like to shill out?
No, just check out my YouTube channel, I guess.
He's also on Twitter, so check him out there as well. Jack, anything you want to shill?
I'm dropping links now. As always, thank you guys for all the donos. You guys are awesome. Undoomed, if you remember, just as a fan of Stargate, please congratulate that guy on the consistency of people rolling in the same direction when the ship got hit. That's something you notice in Stargate. They were always good about everybody responding like normal humans instead of like Phil off in the corner not paying attention and going the wrong way.
Right.
Fair.
All right, I'll remember that.
Short outro tonight, guys. Undoomed, thank you for joining us, my friend.
Thank you for having us.
Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Everybody, take care of yourselves. We love you. See you on the next one. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
I'm supposed to sing because I made that a thing. I hate myself.